Long time ago on the Isle of Green, there lived a king and there lived a queen.
The king and queen of Green. The king of Green and the queen lived happily on the Isle of Green until one day, March 17th, the king was heard to shout,
"Dear queen, what has become of my Irish stew?"
"Why, Majesty, I wish I knew."
The royal cook had a banquet and the king began to throw a fit, just because the cook was new and hadn't cooked his Irish stew.
"You must make it the stew and now."
"But Majesty, I don't know how. Make it yourself, you silly elf. Find what you need on the kitchen shelf."
"You think I can, but I'll show you that I can make good Irish stew."
He called for his apron and then for his hat. He called for a bowl and down the king sat to think of how to make that stew and how to make it Irish stew.
"I think I've got it. Yes, I do. Here's what I'll need to make the stew. Fried potatoes, red tomatoes, Campbell's soups, Fruity Loops, pizza pie, ham on rye, special K, Cajun whey, special K, vanilla bar, chocolate star, frosted flakes, vanilla cakes, macaroon, and now a spoon. Go fetch the queen to taste the stew. Please hurry, hurry, hurry. Do. She'll be surprised what I have done. She'll love this stew. This is such fun.
There you go.
The queen of Green.
"Why, Majesty, what dwells, what smells? I'm going to have one of my fainting spells."
Good group, I've done it. I've killed the queen. Look at her face. She's nearly green.
But the queen had just been overcome by the smell of stew. She lay there numb, and the king, who thought he killed the queen, lay next to her. They both looked green.
Oh me, oh my dear folks of Green, what's happened to our king and queen?
I think that I know what to do. The king that needs is Irish stew.
We need
The stew was awful strong. I think he must have made it wrong.
We need to find another stew, one that's really Irish too.
So all the cooks in this land that we need their help, please lend a hand.
And so the people worked together to make the can and paint all better. They held a contest throughout the Isle. The cooks were lined up for a mile.
The royal palace now proclaims a contest which may bring you fame. Send a sample of your stew, it must be good and Irish too. We'll choose our best stew recipe. The royal cooks may soon be beat.
The royal tasters took their places. The cooks were wearing anxious faces. One by one, each brought a pot of stew, Irish stew, and steaming hot.
Too hot. Too cold. Too goopy. Too soupy.
The tasters tasted every stew. When they were finished, sad but true, not one cook had made good stew, not a word was heard. Not one cook had made good stew, not a soul knew what to do. Each sat down and hung his head. Not a word was heard. Until a young voice rang true.
Come and get the Patrick stew, the best in town, and Irish stew. Come and get the Patrick stew, the best in town, and Irish stew.
Stop, young man, in the name of the king. What was that I heard you say?
Yes, sir, guard. You mean the stew? I meant no harm. I know it's true. I have just one pot left in the cart. Then I'm done. I will depart.
The king must have it, and the queen. Come look yourself, aren't they green? They surely need a bite to eat. Your Irish stew will be a treat.
Until the tasters tasted it, and said, for royalty 'twas fit. They gave some to the royal pair, who ate it with their royal flair.
They ate it all, the pot was clean, the king stood up, and then the queen.
The king and queen of green.
Yay! Sweet! Sweet!
Although I love the color green, it's not the best one for my queen, and so I must pay gratitude to your loyal attitude who made this stew. It is divine. The recipe is not like mine.
Plus Patrick, Royal Majesty, though just a lad he is, you see.
That matters not a whit, a bit. For royalty, this stew is fit, and now I know just what's right to do. I proclaim it royal stew. Everyone will now be seen eating stew at Patrick's place. Green is not for any face, and I proclaim that Patrick stew is royalty, king of stew.
The king